One Battle After Another is one of the most talked about movies of 2025. It's funny, stylish, confident, beautifully shot, everything you expect from PTA. But when the movie ended, I felt weirdly empty. Then I heard the film lost almost $100 million for Warner Brothers. And honestly, I wasn't surprised. Because after thinking about it, I realized what the real issue was. PTA forgot who his main character was. The movie acts like it's about the dad, Leo's character. He's loud, he's chaotic, he drives the plot, the movie follows him everywhere. So naturally, he feels like the protagonist. But the emotional story, that actually belongs to the daughter. She's the one who grows, she's the one who changes, she's the only character with a complete arc. Meanwhile, anything the dad does barely affects her in a meaningful way. He doesn't save her, he doesn't change because of her. He just causes chaos. And that's where the disconnect begins. When one character drives the plot, but a different character carries the emotional weight, the audience feels the imbalance, even if they can explain it. The movie gives the spotlight to one person, but gives the meaning to another, and that's where the emotional hollowness comes from. It quietly breaks the spine of One Battle After Another. There is another issue too. A lot of One Battle After Another feels like a great short film stretched to longer than it wants to be. Act 1 is fantastic, fast, chaotic, funny, full of energy. But once the movie settles in, the emotional spine doesn't deepen. Scenes get bigger and crazier, but they don't build on each other. It becomes episodic instead of meaningful. You enjoy the moments, but the momentum fades. Because without a clear protagonist or emotional engine, the movie starts feeling like a collection of sketches rather than a story. And honestly, this is very PTA. He's incredible at observing people. He loves tiny behavioral moments, awkward silences, weird glances, small emotional frictions. Sean Penn's whole subplot is PTA at his absolute best. It feels like a perfect short film hiding inside a much bigger movie. But PTA also has a pattern. He's not really interested in emotional closure. His characters often don't change. His movies end on irony or ambiguity, and that works when the entire film is built around emptiness, like The Master or There Will Be Blood. But One Battle After Another acts like it wants to be a father-daughter redemption story. Except the father never changes and he never redeems anything. So the movie keeps reaching for an emotional payoff that never had a foundation. That's why, when the daughter's arc finally completes, I couldn't help but feel it was just an afterthought, not an emotional payoff. That's the root of the hollowness. And here's the clearest sign of the problem. If you cut the dad out of most of Act 2, the daughter's arc would barely change, and that's when you know the movie is pointed at the wrong protagonist. There's also a tone issue. The movie looks like an action drama. It feels like a hangout comedy. It sounds like a redemption story, and it plays like PTA chaos. Normally, tone supports the character arc. Here, tone replaces it. Whenever things get emotional, the movie snaps back to comedy. Whenever the comedy lands, it suddenly tries to get sincere. Instead of blending, the tones cancel each other out. The daughter's story wants sincerity. The dad's story wants absurdity. And the movie never decides which one it cares about. If this were a small indie movie, none of this would be a big deal. But this is a $140 million studio film. At that scale, the story needs a clean emotional spine. It needs one clear protagonist. Instead, the movie runs on star power and stylish chaos, without a center holding it all together. And nobody seems to have asked the most important question. Whose story is this? We never see the father-daughter relationship before the chaos. What exactly broke between them? What needs fixing? What did dad actually want? So when the movie goes for a heartfelt ending, it doesn't land because the setup never existed. The film asks you to care about something it never built. On the contrary, Sean Penn's subplot is incredible. It has everything the rest of the movie doesn't: a clear goal, real obstacles, and an emotional payoff, all wrapped in a funny, extremely specific story. It feels like a complete little movie hiding inside a much bigger one that never finds its center. Compare this with Boogie Nights, PTA's most structured film. Doug Diggler has a simple, powerful motivation. I want to matter. Every scene pushes that desire forward. Every friendship, every conflict, every disaster ties back to that emotional need. So even when the movie gets wild, the emotional spine is solid. But in one bottle after another, the dad has no real goal. His stated goal never becomes the story engine. The daughter's arc is barely set up. Tones clash, scenes don't add up to anything. The dad wants to save his daughter hook never turns into story. It's just a line the movie says, not the thing the movie is about. So the narrative floats from moment to moment. You enjoy it, but it fades as soon as it ends. This isn't about dunking on PTA. He's still one of the most interesting filmmakers we have. And this movie had so many great moments. It's funny, confident, beautifully acted, and packed with life. But the movie told me something important. A story only works when the character driving the plot is also the one going through the emotional journey. If those roles split, the ending just can't land, no matter how good everything else looks. And that's the biggest lesson I learned from this movie.